So this is my 28th NBA season in Las Vegas and betting full time every year, every one of them. And last night I had one of those nights that you just want to throw up. I couldn't get anything right. Wrong. I was wrong about the Golden State's effort and the loss to Cleveland. And I had a 5% big ticket on Phoenix, which looked great early. And then, boy, Charlotte went on two big runs in that game. One second, third quarter, one in the fourth. And it lost. Wasn't in it. Wasn't competitive down the stretch. So, unfortunately, I had a crap night last night. What do we do when we have a crap night? We focus, we sit down, we do our work, and we see if we can do better the next day. That's the nature of doing this type of handicapping day in, day out. Some days are going to be great. Some days not so much. The focus level stays there. It's time for Teddy's Tips for Friday. And we've got a bunch to talk about on today's show. Yesterday's show, 2-0 with the Wise Guy totals. Let's talk Wise Guy totals off the top here. Two of them stand out. I'm going to save the official Wise Guy total of the day for second. But one that stands out absolutely, Toronto and Memphis. We've seen over money for this. This was low as 230.5 last night. And right now we're seeing 233.5 for this one. So we've seen over money for the Raptors and the Grizz. The Grizz, a team with no low post presence at all these days. So Memphis wants to play fast. Toronto's coming off a pretty embarrassing showing at home. So the market's expecting Raptors to play fast, Grizzlies to play fast, this game to go up and over the total. Yesterday, Phoenix, Charlotte went over. Lakers and Thunder went over, even with all that debacle of Luka getting hurt and that. But the two Wise Guy totals. The other one for today, and this is really the top of the, if you talk about the Wise Guy total that got bet overnight. The Wise Guy totals, again, they get this. I'm tracking stuff the night before, and then we see where the markets move overnight, and then we see what they do first thing in the morning, because you do get those head fakes sometimes overnight. Limits are lower, so if people want to bet a lot more, the Wise Guys want to bet more. Occasionally, you see head fakes going in the wrong direction. That said, this ain't that. Orlando, Dallas. Last night, this total was sitting in the 234.5 range. Right now, I'm seeing as high as 239 for the Mavs and the Magic. Some of this is Franz Wagner. With Wagner back in the lineup for Orlando, there's certainly going to be some, I'm going to say growing pains, but some adjustment issues for a guy who hasn't been on the floor a whole lot this season. Orlando not as good defensively. Now, in his first game back, the Magic they didn't hit 3-point shots. Their spacing was wrong. One would expect some improvements against a Dallas team that is they've given up $130 in each of their last three home games. One would expect Orlando to shoot better tonight. And the Mavs, what are they? They can put the biscuit in the basket. That's about all they can do. So I'm not surprised we've seen over money come for Orlando, Dallas. That is the official Wise Guy total for Friday, pounded in the overnight hours. All right, let's talk about the angle of the day for today. First, I want to thank you guys, really. I'm impressed with how many of you are watching the show every day. We're getting 4-figure views every day. Thank you for watching the show. If you like it, tell your friends. We're going to keep going. So far, we're going to view this show as it's working. I like doing it. I feel like I'm giving you guys decent info every single day. So thank you for your support. If you like the show, tell your friends. We appreciate the likes, the comments, and the follows very, very much. And again, the comments, I'm trying to get in there every day and answer as many as I can. So if you have questions, if you have something that you want me to talk about, again, quick hitters, 10 minutes. I want to be in and out, not going to waste anybody's time. But man, appreciate those comments. And if there's something you want me to discuss on the show, throw it in the comments and I'll do my best to make it happen. Not going to be today. It'll be next week. But by all means, please let us know what you like and what you don't like even about this Teddy's Tip Show on a daily basis, powered by WagerTalk. Okay, angle of the day for today. And this is one that I'm like, really? When I'm looking for stuff, do you want to know who the best? I don't know. So I think there's a team that's 1-0. That's 100%. But the second best team, let me see if that's true. Is there a team that's 100%? Do I have that here? No, I don't have it. Let's go. Okay. As road favorites, best team in the league is Phoenix. They're 12-2 ATS. Utah, by the way, 2-1 ATS in this role. They're 67% full season as road favorites, the Utah Jazz. But the team that stood out to me for tonight for this road favorites full season? Because I didn't think of it. New Orleans. New Orleans, 80%. They've been road favorites 5 tries. They covered 4 of them. They've been good in this role full season. Now, we do have New Orleans on the second of back-to-backs, and I worry about the second of back-to-back sometimes this time of the year. Unfortunately, you want to worry about that. I shouldn't have played Phoenix in the second of back-to-backs last night. Late season back-to-backs can be a concern, especially when you're laying points. That said, I don't know what Sacramento's got left. I really don't. But full season, New Orleans on the second of back-to-backs, 500 ATS. So there's no negative there, and there's certainly a positive when it comes to their price as road favorites. Again, 80% road favorites full season for the New Orleans Pelicans. So Pelicans laying 6 in Sacramento. Angle of the day says, lay it in West Coast action. Still value play for Friday. Let's talk about the concept. These are games where the line has already moved a little bit. But there's, I'm a big proponent. Get the best of the number. Get the best of the number. Realistically, I understand. Especially for guys that don't do this full time. That's not always possible to do. And when you have talking heads yapping, you didn't get the best of the number, you can't make the play. Little nits. I understand. You're going to be in action on some of this stuff. So where is there still value even after the money has come? Well, a couple games on today's card that stood out to me. And they're both big favorites. They're both big road favorites. Atlanta certainly stands out in that regard. Atlanta was minus 15.5, minus 16.5 last night. I'm seeing more 17.5s out there today. Brooklyn is in the fourth quarter. Brooklyn is just playing rookies. Doesn't matter if it's competitive, it's not competitive. We've seen the Nets, I'm going to say, try hard to lose. Even at this stage, I haven't seen they'll give effort for 3, and in the fourth, they just let down. Atlanta's crushing teams. Atlanta's winning by margin. I could lay, again, if you didn't get this, the best of the number with the Hawk, you didn't lay 15.5 or 16 or 16.5, you have to lay 17, so be it. I think there's still value with Atlanta at that number. And certainly Toronto's worth noting here, too. Toronto's up to 13.5 at a lot of books, even some 14s out there. Raptors coming off a pretty ugly loss at home. They weren't pleased by it. Memphis, you know what they are, tanking teams down the stretch. Next week, some of these tanking teams might be backable. This week, not so much. As all of a sudden the finish line is in sight, teams will play a little bit harder. They will. Don't know that I trust the Grizzlies to do that here. So I think there's still value with the Toronto side. Atlanta, Toronto, both still value. One more thing I do want to talk about on today's show when it comes to impact injuries. And impact, when we talk about the injuries that matter to the point spread, this is something worth talking about because we've seen a big move on this game. Why? That'd be Philadelphia and Minnesota, by the way. Joel Embiid was initially ruled that he wasn't going to play, and now it looks like he is going to play. Anthony Edwards for the T-Wolves, who gave a good effort in Detroit last night, came up short. Now, Edwards, his status has not yet been determined for today, but the markets don't think he's going to be in there. As a result, what have we seen? Lots of 76ers money. This game was sitting in the 2.5 range last night. Now we're seeing 4.5s, even 5s out there for Philadelphia. That's all about the injuries. That is Embiid likely to play, Anthony Edwards not so much. So there's no opinion in that line move. That line move was all impact injury related. There you have it, guys. I'm telling you, in and out, 10 minutes. I appreciate, and my goal is go fast, give you guys good info, and get you on your way. Now, again, not trying to waste anybody's time. If you like this show, please tell your friends. Please watch it every day, every weekday, right here on WagerTalk TV. Comments, likes, follows my homepage, www.buzz.com/TC. Have yourself a great Friday. Have yourself a great betting weekend. I will be doing quote-unquote double gamer NBA videos over the weekend on Saturday. So you can check out more of my content at WagerTalk TV right here on YouTube. And stay tuned right here on this channel for more quality video content from the WagerTalk handicappers. Cheers. Oh, check this out. Yeah. Can I get that? That'll take us to the homepage. I think it's cool. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Cheers.